Have you ever tried to draw backgrounds, thinking about the city or the countryside scene you want to make and how good it will turn out? So you grab your pen and paper, but when it's time to finally draw, your mind turns blank. Don't worry, it happens all the time. So recently, some friends on the Discord server were talking about how hard backgrounds are to draw. So I thought, why not make a video to help them out? So here it is: how to draw backgrounds for beginners. Drawing backgrounds is really hard. It's so hard, in fact, that beginner artists or mangakas may even quit their art or manga because they don't know how to draw a background. It happened to me. I wanted to start my manga 6 months ago, but when I tried to draw a background scene, I realized I don't know anything about it. But in this video, I will actually tell you how to draw backgrounds in my unique perspective, what even is perspective, and how to make your background feel real. Trust me, if you know how vanishing points work, how perspective works, then drawing backgrounds will be a lot easier for you. You will know what you are doing, and this will help greatly. So let's get started. First of all, backgrounds are made up of two simple things: a vanishing point and a horizon line. Let me explain. Let's take this image as an example. In this image you can see a railway line, obviously, but if you look closely, the railway line and everything in the image move towards one single direction, and at a point everything completely disappears. The point where we can see the rail disappearing is called the vanishing point. It's not that hard. Now that we identified the vanishing point, let's see what a horizon line is. If you look closely at the vanishing point, it's also the point where the horizon or the sky is meeting the land. Now if I draw a line there, this line is the point where horizon and land meet. So this line is called the horizon line. This is also pretty simple. Now in your daily life you will notice everything has a vanishing point, whether it's roads or hallways or just anything for that matter. Also you can see it now. You're welcome. Now in most of the images you can see that the vanishing point is in the center of the image. Now if we change the position of the vanishing point a little bit, it gives a different result, like this image of the hallway. Now this image has one vanishing point, making this a 1-point perspective. When drawing backgrounds there are 2-point perspectives, 3-point perspectives, and even 10-point perspectives. Now 10-point perspectives are too advanced, so let's move over to 2-point perspectives. 2-point perspectives have, well, two vanishing points. Two vanishing points when you make corners mostly, but you can also draw hallways with this. For example, let's look at this illustration by Katsuki Fujimoto, the author and illustrator of Chainsaw Man. Now let's take a look at this image. In this image, the point where both vanishing points touch is where you should start drawing your corner. On this one, you can draw the corner of your building or anything. I recommend drawing boxes even if you are not making some buildings. It will be easier for you to draw. Now one thing about the horizon line is, if you draw your horizon line low, then it will look as if the camera is placed on the ground, or like a low view. But if horizon line is placed higher, then it will be like a bird's eye view. Sometimes horizon line is not even present in the image. You can draw backgrounds without horizon lines. Now these were the simple 1 and 2-point perspectives, but let's go even more advanced, and this is a 3-point perspective. Try guessing where the 3 points are. If you couldn't, it's alright, they are right here. One vanishing point is above while the other two are on the sides. It's not a rule that vanishing points should always be placed on the horizon lines. You can see the more vanishing points we get, the more extreme the drawings become. Now going a bit more extreme, here is a 4-point perspective. You can see 4 vanishing points form a sphere, and 1 point is up while 1 is down, while the remaining are on the left and right. I personally think going with more than 4 points is a bit too extreme, but you can always try it. You can also notice how the drawing has like a fisheye lens kind of view. Now that you know about the 1, 2, 3 and even 4-point perspectives, you should also know how to draw shapes in perspective. And by shapes I mean mostly boxes. When drawing, artists mostly use boxes to draw everything. Let me tell you. For example, when drawing perspective of buildings, you can notice that you can just draw boxes for the buildings and draw the details later. Now get a paper and a pencil and draw a point on it, and just draw boxes going towards that point, and boom, you know how to draw in 1-point perspective. Slowly go from 1 vanishing point to 2, and then to 3 and even 4. If you practice even for an hour, you will get the hang of perspective and foreshortening too. Now you know how to easily draw with perspective in mind. You need to draw a vanishing point, a horizon line, and then make lines coming out of the vanishing point. It is really simple. You can see in the works of popular manga artists like Satsuki Fujimoto how he heavily uses vanishing points to draw backgrounds. Now that you know about vanishing points, every time you try to draw a background, you will know what you are doing, and this will help greatly, firstly. But drawing backgrounds isn't just boxes, and this is why details are the most important part when drawing backgrounds. You should first make simple boxes and then add the correct amount of details in it. If you add too much or too less details, then your background drawings might turn out a bit weird. The main problem I had while adding details was thinking what details I should add. Like when drawing buildings, I didn't know which type of windows or roofs I should draw. And I couldn't realize that the answer was straight up in my question. Literally. There are so many types of windows, roofs, gates that I could just search up on Google and use any type I wanted as a reference. Or even better, I could go outside and touch some grass and just use buildings near me as a reference. Now, if you have made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing, it's free. If you are drawing backgrounds, then add as much as simple details as you can, like a normal road has street lamps and some doors have a roof thingy, or how gardens have chairs and signboards. If you think you can normally add less little details and have a perfect background for your manga or art, I highly suggest drawing some real life backgrounds if you are a total beginner to know more about the simple details, like in this picture. Now I know, this picture isn't that simple. But you can see how the buildings have so many signs, how there are different sizes of each sign, and how each building has a different size. You can draw big buildings, small buildings, cars, people, some clouds, some pebbles, some tanks on roofs, and this goes on. And you can even draw T-Rex, which is the greatest thing. Now, I have only drawn 2 backgrounds for practice in my whole career, or whatever you can say. And drawing backgrounds makes you improve so much. Remember, using reference isn't cheating. Now I want you to take a paper and a pencil and let's use our newfound knowledge and draw some backgrounds from imagination. You can also draw later. It's your choice.